again. Just laughing at one actually. Waiting for the thing, right? Yes. And now.
Medicine, women, review. Use science, spirituality, and healing tools to help people make sense of their world. They help connect the dots and solve the mysteries. They give direction so people can take ownership of their lives. And now I present Medicine, Women, Review with your soul coaches, Brenda Bates and Jen Toffel.
Hi, my name is Brenda Bates, Medicine Woman, and with me is...
Jen Toffel, Medicine Woman.
And also with me is...
Scott Bates.
And normally Wednesdays is the night where she goes over and do what?
I am a religious advisor for a student group at Michigan State University, and that student group is called Q Cross, Queer Christians Reclaiming Our Sexuality and Spirituality. And so it's a no-hate group on campus focused on the intersection of Christianity and providing a safe space for anybody regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity.
Yeah, it's a very good thing because it's all about that, being able to be you. We were watching TV one time, and it was all about, let's see, so the Prince of Persia, I'm not sure if you saw the movie or not, but in the beginning this little boy started watching this other little boy getting hurt, and so he stood up for him. And basically then they started chasing him down, was going to cut his hand off, because back then if you stole something, then you were considered...
Yeah,
And, but the thing is that, again, you were taught not to, especially children, you were taught not to be yourself. You were taught that you had to be what other people tell you to. And that's where it gets to be really tricky, because this is where all the fine lines come in. It's right or wrong, good or bad, and there's all these rules. And we're moving into a time where it's about unity, and it's not that you don't follow rules. It's about not being over concerned. Like for me, being over concerned was always such a thing I had to do. I had to be more considerate. Well, I went so overboard that it cut my world up. I didn't have healthy boundaries. I made sure everybody was first, but not in the healthiest way. It was out of more of the fearful way that I was going to get hurt if I didn't do these things. So, you know, we have to look at the fact that we are not just human, and we're moving into a state where our heart is opening in a much greater deal, and we have got to allow now ourselves to look at the foundation, because our foundation is what creates this moment, and it is all based on our definitions and our knowledge, and it's you know, how do we assume, how do we perceive, because we have the RTJ, which is that part of your brain that thinks what other people think. It's there to help you function in this reality. But a lot of times it can be too much energy is placed in it, or not enough energy is placed into it. Everything's a frequency. So before we go and talk anymore, I love having callers, and I honor them, and so we have someone in queue, and so we'll just jump right there.
Okay, so we've got area code 661. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hi, this is Erin. I was talking to your general reading. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, girls.
Thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving. So you wanted just a general reading? Okay. So I feel like something's heavy on your heart, and I don't know if it's like a sadness, but I don't know if you've heard or had unexpected news that you don't know whether it's good or bad, but it's just sitting there. And you're contemplating. So what I'm feeling is I'm feeling the chemical peptides in your body that haven't cleaned themselves out. They're kind of just sitting there. Does this sound familiar?
Well, no, not right this second, but it could be something coming up.
Okay. So do you anticipate something coming up?
No.
Okay. So let's just try to find out what they're saying.
Okay.
In the heart region is about hopelessness, and right there is where they went into the spleen point, because spleen is also what happens when you're about to protect yourself. So now I have to find out, so is this your energy? No, this is something else, somebody else's.
Okay. I'm like,
what I
oh,
feel...
holy shit, I have no idea what's going on.
Do you have people in your life that just have that kind of life.
Yeah. Not people in my life, but people around me right now.
Yes.
I've had contact with a couple of women that are feeling that way, I think.
Yes, yes. And see, and that's part of your empath. You understand, you resonate, it's familiar. But what it's also doing is, I feel like you can't do enough. It's like you haven't been able to do something. And in the past, you probably would have jumped to it. But you're learning something. I think you're learning a boundary. Does this make sense?
I'm learning a boundary?
Are you learning to back away and not get so involved?
With other people? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I feel like you're doing is that there's a part of you when you feel their sadness or feel their stuff, it's not that you're trying not to be loving, it's just that I feel like you don't want to be sucked into a situation. Do you understand?
Yeah, I just sort of ended a relationship temporarily from someone part of my soul group that was he was just being hurtful, and I was I kind of been there for him the last 3 years, and every time we would have contact, I would give him something helpful, and he would stomp on my foot.
Yes, that's it. That's the one. That's the energy that I'm looking at. Okay, see, that makes more sense now. Okay, so what you're doing is...
Yesterday I had a meltdown, and I said,
oh,
that's enough, and I basically pulled myself away. I said, you're not stomping on my foot anymore. Come back when you're resonating higher.
okay, so that's exactly it. So the novice card that my husband picked up was meaning that it's about the beginning stages, and you are just beginning this I have to put a boundary up, a healthy one, I have to protect myself, and I'm going to have my husband read it because the novice card is...
Okay, it says, innocence, beginner, ignorance, new skill without practice, unstable curiosity. It says, let's see, early knowledge not yet integrated, the ability to see the world untainted, and learning ability. These are the aspects of the novice as she appears in your life. The novice is reminding you to be teachable and humble. If you don't know something, don't pretend that you do. Chances are that you'll make an error that may cost you more than you wish to pay.
Okay, just a second. So what he's saying in the beginning is that because this is new, the heartstring that you had with this person, and now you have to, you know in your soul that you have to cut ties, you have to break away, you have to do something to reset, because if you ever go to communicate again, you would have to be on your terms. It's not that you're selfish, it's just that you're done losing that power. So this is all the beginning stages for you, and you're creating a new pathway to make a better you. So go ahead, Scott.
Right. I've done that with like 3 people recently where I just pulled back and said, it's none of my business. I'm not going to fix this for them or try to.
Yeah, so you're learning. These are the beginning stages. All right, what else does it say?
It says, new information is coming, and this is the time to be open to learning and expanding. The novice also reminds you to be like a child and remember the wonder and awe you once had for the world around you, when discovering magic was an essential part of everyday experience. The novice reminds you that you need to stop and ask yourself, what lesson must I learn here? The lesson is always mirrored in the experience in front of you. Dig deep into the workings of whatever situation you're inquiring about. You don't have to look far, for the answer is right in front of you. Sometimes it may feel as if you have 2 left feet and don't know how to dance, or that perhaps you're fumbling in the dark and fear that you may be left behind. It's all right to be in the not knowing. This is the place where new understanding takes time to integrate. Be gentle with yourself. The greatest gift of novice reminds you of is that you're always at the beginning of some area in your life. Patience and slow movement is required when the novice appears. Before moving forward, perhaps you need time to journal your thoughts and receive clarity about when the mystery invites you to learn. Then rejoice. The novice Avalon is on a path of higher knowledge and abundant manifestation and doesn't stay a novice for long.
Okay, so one of the things they said that you're learning or unlearning, because we have a tendency to learn something when we're little, and then we think that we learned it and that's all there is. Well, sometimes you have to learn it and then unlearn it. One of the things they're pointing out is that there's a difference between trusting love and distrusting love. Your heart is big and very giving and very helpful. And you learn to distrust love very young, and then you learn to give so that you could learn to build the trust through you, okay? But what's happening is there's the I don't trust love. Because in, how do I want to put this? the whole word is distrust, distrust. So do you feel like you can trust people?
It's sort of like, trust them to do what? People are human, do I, trust them about, will they hurt you, will they betray you? I think they probably will hurt you, and they will betray you. Do I put myself out there anyway with people? Yes. So do I trust them to not hurt me? Meaning, do I not put myself out there? I do put myself out there, but do I think that they're human? Yeah.
Okay. So at 3 years old, you had put yourself out there, and one of the things that happened was that the person that you deeply loved scared the hell out of you. It's like what might happen to me and my father. My father is supposed to be a loving gentleman. He's supposed to be someone I love, but he got vicious one night and scared me so bad that it becomes a frightfully overjoyed in the heart region, so you put heart walls up. And so the person you know you're supposed to love, or love you back, and you don't know when the shoe's going to drop and scare the crap out of you, and so you're not sure. So you put these heart walls up, and they're saying that this kind of happened to you to some degree, where you were shocked that this person that you love actually has told you something that you would never believe would come out of their mouth.
Well, yeah, I've had that happen a couple of times, and the most recent one was in 2005, and that was a hard one to get over.
Okay.
But I don't think I've closed myself down too much, do you?
Well, here's the thing. You've done very well at learning to overcome it, which is great. But it's marked into your soul. It's marked into your subconscious mind. The event happened, and how you reacted in the moment, you marked it, which means you take a little bit of your life force, it could be 10 to 50%, whatever, and you mark it. And your soul is telling you that it needs things resolved. The subconscious mind's number one job is to preserve the body. So when life starts to repeat itself, when you say, oh, I had that happen a couple times, your soul is telling you that the information's coming up saying, can you resolve it now? When it happened, we didn't know how to resolve it. Now that you're in a space, your soul's asking you, can you resolve it now? So really what your soul is asking you to do is they want you to be able to heal the, I just got to find out what they're talking about. They want you to heal there's a particular pattern that, see, this gets complicated to some degree because they're saying that you had learned to know right from wrong. So did you grow up trying to make sure you understood right and wrong?
I'm not sure. That's kind of odd. What I think I was learning was truth.
Okay.
Truth from falseness. What was true. What was true.
Okay, so now that's different language. That's good. But when you were younger, were you told, no, you need to do the right thing?
No.
Okay, so they're saying there's something to do with the self-conscious part of how it's right or wrong. Now, did you create a set of standards that you follow that makes you a good person, it creates safety? And we all do this to some degree. It's called strategies. And there's something that's within that causes you to keep bringing, or what they call attraction factor, bringing people in that says that, oh, I could trust them, but oh, here we go again, now they're doing this again. So there's a set of standards that you follow, but you attract people in that don't follow those standards. Does that make sense?
Yeah, integrity. Integrity. And I just don't think it's that tough, and that's why I was saying, people, I think people are human, so.
Right. Now,
so integrity is important to me. It really is important to me.
Okay. So what's important now is your soul says that something needs to be resolved, and they're saying that you're on the stage of the beginning of this trip of learning to stop attracting the wrong people. Okay, they're good people. I'm not saying they're wrong. It's just that they don't follow who you are. Okay, there's like-minded people out there like you. You just haven't found them. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so the cord that draws those other people in, that you're great that you met them. It's just that it would feel more better if you had people that were more like you, more like-minded, I should say. Okay, understood
Well,
where you're coming from.
Yeah, and I've been told that before. I went to actually, I was told that exact thing about the school that I attended, that I went to, it was basically full of people that were not like me, and there was a lot of dissonance because of that. I'm just horrified by them, but I'm leaving in December, and I'm hoping to find a PhD program. I think I found one to start in January, and I was actually just thinking about that very thing of making sure that I was near people that I resonated with and that were like-minded, because this group was a nightmare, just ragingly lacking of integrity, and just wacky people that I really didn't want to be around. But
okay, good. Now, I don't see you have to really heal anything, okay? Because you have begun to understand yourself. Now, you need support from the universe to be able to give you what you need to go in the direction that sustains you, that helps you grow. And one of the things that I say is help by learning more about synchronicity. Start paying attention to the universe about what direction you should go in. And these are all positive signs going here, go there. Another thing that I did and I used, and many other people have used, and it's called the healing tool, the golden lasso. The golden lasso is that you're trusting God, and you're taking that lasso, you're throwing it out there, and you're saying, thank you for. And what I did is I said, thank you for friends, thank you for like-minded people. I'm just tired of not having any friends. And little by little, all of a sudden I had people starting to contact me. I'm like, what are they contacting me for? I don't know them. But it was that phrase of that phrase. We don't think about that, but that's our protective phrase that we put over our heart. But literally, she called again, and then I'm thinking, what does she want? And I heard God say, well, you did throw it out that you wanted like-minded friends. Why won't you give this a chance? And I'm thinking, oh, crap! And I looked at my fears. I went what was familiar with people that were degrading, they were hurtful. But when I started to tap that out, as far as I didn't have to draw those in, I let her in, and oh my gosh, it opened up a whole new world of finding more and more people that are like me. So when the healing tool has a little bit. Okay, the healing tool can be found on where, Jen?
www.mwrevealed.com, and on our front page on the left-hand side is a menu, and on the left-hand side, scroll down to healing tools, and you get a pop-up menu and golden lasso, and the pop-up menu is alphabetized, so G for golden lasso.
Yes, and do read the instructions, or at least watch the video. I can't remember which one I got up there, but it's important because when you start to bring it to yourself, and as you're drawing to you what you want, you'll start noticing the inhibitions or the fears. Oh my God, this could happen. Well, then you go to meridian tapping in the healing tools, and literally say, even though I'm afraid of this, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. All the instructions are there, and what happens is that once you get that familiarity of fear, or just the thought that, oh, well, I shouldn't do this, the doubt, you get that, we used to put on the scale from 0 to 10 in a color, you get it down to 0 in white, you are going to be more your true self, because you're not going to have all of those walls and fears and things that stop you. You'll actually get more in contact with that heart self, that true self that you are. And then it allows you to step into what you want instead of thinking, oh my God, well, hopefully I'll have it someday. You'll feel more confidence. And then you just sit back with expectancy, knowing something's going to happen better than you could ever thought of, and you don't put a time limit. It will all fall into place. And if you pay attention to synchronicity, it can happen immediately. You'll start seeing signs all over about, oh, there's proof that this stuff's work. Oh, okay, I'll follow this.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so one of the things, like I said, is that you're at the beginning stage of building your steps to helping yourself to be strong, going into the direction that says, you know what, I want more of this. And you're literally getting where you're going. You're creating a healthier boundary where you're saying no to this, yes to this, and you're just going to have to be okay to lose your friends, because your soul is already making it so that the friends that we're called your friends, we're your friends, but they seem more false, is that they resonated with the old you. That part of you that said, oh, I have to have friends like this, or I have to be treated this way. But that's not you anymore. As you start to grow...
And I pretty much released that between 2005 and, a year before last. I pretty much released that and cleaned everything out.
Okay.
I had a couple of stragglers coming in, but for the most part, for the last year, I've had a whole bunch of just that kind of thing happening where new people have come in, and I have a whole, actually really nice support group of people that are like-minded, just coming in this last year. So that falls in line with what's been happening.
Good, good. Keep going, because the more that you practice, the more it gives you strength. The more that learning curve will just become a habit of where you say, oh, well, I don't have to give to you just because you tell me so, or I don't have to do this. So you're learning and creating a new pathway and strategies to have a better, healthier you that can sustain. So good job. I appreciate that you're doing that.
Okay, and I pulled some cards.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yes, and Jen's got cards for you. Go ahead.
Okay, so this passion that needs to be ignited for this new chapter, they're saying to call on the fairies, use the earth magic, however you connect to the earth and fairies, the elementals, they will help you with this passion, because you're not supposed to stay still anymore, and that may be part of your DNA coding as far as a pattern goes, but they're saying stop being vigilant for where you were to help break this up. So basically, this passion that you need to ignite, the fairies are going to help you out. Or your earth elementals, however you want to connect.
And you can call upon them anytime. Just remember, when you call upon anything, don't bind it. Just say, thank you for your presence, I need your help. And your spirit, your guides,
So as it
will
serves,
always
then
give you
release.
better than what you have. So you don't have to worry about sabotage. But don't sit there and think, I got to keep it and bind it, because that's just going to, the energy will just get intense and explode and could hurt. So again, all you're doing is just learning to say thank you. And pay attention to where God's guiding you, and then let all the helpers be there to help you.
And
Okay?
as it serves, then you can release as far as the binding or not binding goes. That once it in a synchronistic way serves, then you can say thank you and release.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I don't think I got the thank you therapy up there yet, but you know, I'm very proud of you, and keep on going, okay?
All right. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
your help.
calling.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, so we'll
So-
take a break, and then we've got a couple people from the chat room.
Sounds good. All right, we're back after this.
We've got a question from the chat room to start with. We've got Learning for birthday tomorrow and would like a general reading.
Okay, before we do that, part of what I did as far as celebrating that I finished my dissertation was, instead of cutting my hair, getting a tattoo, or getting a piercing, or doing something drastic to mark my event, I dyed my hair red. So it's kind of, I don't know what you call it, flaming red. So if you're in the video, you notice. And so now
Red
Jen and
tint.
I both have red heads to some degree.
Right.
And Kimberly in the chat room says,
Double
double vision,
vision.
seeing
Seeing
red.
red.
So that made us go to Foreigner. And she goes, no, the two redheads. It's like, oh my God, that's right.
Oh, that's
I
right, we forgot.
So yes, you said somebody's birthday?
Yep, so Learning for would like a general reading, and then we've got a couple people
All
on
right.
the switchboard.
So what I would love is to say happy birthday, and we will just give her a
So
general
Scott-
reading. Yep.
Okay.
So Scotty, you go ahead and do that. Oh, we don't know the male or female. I'm sorry. I'm so used to
Everybody's a lady.
everybody. I'm a female, of course. In 5, in 4, in 3. What I do is when I count backwards, I'm getting myself realigned to the fine tuning. Self.
That must be me.
Self.
I'm the dude.
Plus the dude. I forgot to say the redhead.
Oh
plus
yeah,
the dude.
dynamic duo plus the dude.
You know what's funny is if his beard grows out, it turns red.
Yes, I have a red beard.
Arr! No, that was Bluebeard. Sorry.
No, there's red beard.
There-
Pirate.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's
they're,
that
Learning
Black
for
beard,
You
red beard.
is actually got this like cloak, and they're wondering why is it they can't really receive. And what it does is with the heart space. The heart space, if you look up heart math, there's all this information about how the energy of the heart functions. And if the heart is really living in the heart, the energy of the heart really expands the energy, and then what they used to call it was that your aura. So if your heart's got many heart walls, then your aura will be small and tight, and you'll have more inhibitions. You'll put your hands in. Your hands going out means that you're more welcoming and more into receiving. And if there's anything that stops you, now the cloak feels like this was not put on by you. This was put on by fears from your mother or father or people in the genetic line. It can even be culture line, because overprotected And I don't know if you've lost your parents or not, but it feels like that worrisome, even if the parent has moved away or whatever, there's that cloak of invisibility that has to protect you with their worry and their fear. But I just feel like it's like a hood. And so now as I look a little bit further, I'm supposed to let Jen speak, then Scott. Okay.
Okay, so I pulled cards from Wisdom of the Hidden Realms guide book. That goes with the deck. Okay, so the Swan Queen as a challenger appears to you. It's time to stop doubting your inner voice. Don't let your analytical mind prevent you from seeing the miracles that Spirit places in front of you.
All right, now one thing she just said was that you can have your mindset of your thoughts. They'll sound like your voice, but you may want the healing tool of thought management, which you can find at our website, because other people's thoughts get in your head. And like I told you, I was just telling you about how this worry feels like a cloak. So continue on.
Another message the Swan Queen shows you in the mirror of your life is your fear of change. Why fear what's inevitable? Everything in life changes and transforms from one moment to the next. Holding on to the past only distorts and mangles the natural order of things. If you can, in spite of your fear, be gentle with yourself and allow for change. Only beauty will come of it. Most important, a shift in perspective is what's called for now. And then I also pulled the card, the Wise Woman of Wonderland. It's easy for you to say. As a challenger, it's a sign that you may have compromised yourself out of fear. Have you been in denial about the truth of your situation? Have you sold yourself short rather than ask for what you really need? Have you given up your dream for another because you fear abandonment? The Wise Woman of Wonderland is gently reminding you that you count. Claim your good and never settle for less. Be fearless and make it so. Why hang around for more disappointment when wonderful adventures and opportunities are waiting to unfold for you?
Okay, now Scott.
Okay, I drew the Goblin card reversed. It said, it is often difficult to deal with someone else's issues because they impact your own. No one is perfect, but in this case you're particularly vulnerable to being manipulated. Don't take this world personally. When the Goblin's card arrives reversed, it's a sign to step back with detachment. Don't let other people's stuff lead you into reacting from an old wound. Love yourself unconditionally. Set boundaries and your goblins will fall asleep. Love is the only answer.
Okay, so this person said, I don't worry. I give a lot of myself. I'm learning to receive. So then it said, so I wondered, is this really this person's? Where is this fitting in?
Like I said,
and then
the worries and mothers and stuff.
Okay.
Well,
He read the card and said, don't let other people's stuff get in your way.
Yes.
And so then that seems like that would be the connection as far as the fear and that kind of thing.
Yes, again, this person will be standing there, just like the one time I was at, in a group, angel group, and they go, oh, giving readings out, and the lady missed me. And I said, oh, well, I didn't say, oh, what about me, because that's not me at the time. Somebody says, well, you forgot Brenda. Oh, she's not open to receive it, so I won't give her one. And I'm like, putting my arm down, I'm like, yes, I am. She goes, no, you're not. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Okay, and so we don't understand to why we don't receive certain things, why we're not at. But I also feel like I'm supposed to tell you you're more than enough. And I have to tell you about this story, and I'm not sure how it fits, but maybe you do. The time when, several years back, when our babies were, my son was 5 and my daughter was 3, and we had this female and her husband that were trying to take my kids, trying to take away my life as far as where I lived and who I was. And so they had all these things set up that were going to come crashing it down. They had plans, schemes, and everything to destroy me so they could have this. I didn't know what was really going on, except the fact is I knew for 6 years I put up with this hell. And I just finally said, enough's enough. I can't do this. And I'll tell you, Supermom comes out when your children feel like they're being threatened.
Mama bear.
Yeah, the mama bear just pops out. And finally I said, okay, that's it. I said, I'm done, God. Thank you very much. I have put up with this long enough. Now, take and change this, because I'm done. And I let it go, and I knew that God was going to take care of it. And all of a sudden, one day I hear, hang on to your hat. You're going to be completely safe. And I'm like, oh, shit. When I heard that before, it meant that I would probably be the one that looks like the light would be bad on and all this. Well, that's what happened. During the time that it occurred, she had set all this up, and it was all lies, but she figured everybody was in her favor because she can pursue anybody. Her and her husband set it all up, and everything pointed at me, said I was a bad person, you know, all this is true, blah, 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 which it wasn't true at all. And I sat back and I had to take the abuse. But during that time, I had in my heart, I had this faith. I knew. And, you know, they kept crashing down. I got scared when she was trying to come after me with a gunshot, or with a, you know, gun. And it's like, nope, I know I'm still going to be divinely protected and divinely directed. And it didn't last very long, and then all of a sudden, after a few months, the hand that was trying to hurt me, she and her husband ended up hurting themselves, to the point where there's several times where they could have actually been okay and got back into the family, got back into stuff. She sabotaged herself one more time. The universe set it up that these people were supposed to be out of her life permanently, and I didn't do anything. I didn't have to do anything. The universe said, okay, as long as you're not willing to be abused anymore and you're done with it, like I said, I released it, and that releasement healing is very potent and powerful. She and him totally left my life, and I didn't have to do anything. And it's that trusting that everything's going to work out. It's that trusting, even in the middle of the hells that are happening to you, everything's going to be fine. And in this case, I know you're more than enough. I already know that you're similar to me to the point of everything should be great. I had a happy life. I have this, blah, blah, blah. But it's all of those other worries. It's all those other people's thinking. And when I decided that I didn't have to follow along, and you know, I learned to consider the source. I didn't have to think what she was thinking. I didn't have to do what she was trying to pull. I didn't have to believe in her stories that she was spinning, which freed me. So I don't know exactly how this story fits for you, but I just know that you're more than enough, and that you are divinely protected and divinely directed. So, what did you pull?
I felt like, you know, just pull a card as far as an ascended master that will help you in this situation, and that is Isis, and it's about balance, career, and home life. Isis demonstrated a perfectly balanced life as a great spiritual teacher and devoted wife and mother to Osiris and Horus, respectively. Isis is a much revered Egyptian goddess who symbolizes feminine strength and power. She can help you find enough time and energy to enjoy all aspects of your life if you ask her for assistance. So I just feel like if you need somebody to have your back when you feel like you need, okay, I am divinely directed and protected, but you know, okay, call on Isis is what they're saying to do.
See, and I wasn't cared what she thought about me behind my back. I didn't. And I still don't. Because she's out there trying to do everything she can, but I also know that she's one person out of billions. And that God is bigger than she could ever be. So, like I said, I didn't worry either. Something is pushing on you, and that is what the cloak needs to be removed. That is what I am being told. And it's not even your stuff, but you have to live out people's crap to some degree. And what else is there? I keep feeling like this is it. So, as far as the deck of relationships. Now, I'm not sure if this is relationships with the people, places, yourself. But these relationships, it says give yourself a chance. Give your relationships a chance. Work on that togetherness. It's not about compromise. And once you understand in your heart what it is you really want, you'll be gravitated towards what relationship you're supposed to have that's true to you. You'll find out that you'll like this career or you like this home. Like one time I told Jen, I said, if the home isn't welcoming you, then you're going to have a lifetime of misery. You need to make sure that home is welcoming. Because once it does, you'll feel right at home. Relationships, the same way. Don't compromise, because all that means is that you're giving yourself up. You learn to understand the other part. You learn to move forward. You don't have to control every single situation. But learning to be in sync with the other person will cause you to have a better relationship. And then the idea of what is a job, finding truly what is yours. I created a job out of nothing because it never existed. But yet I was being told that you already have a job, and the next thing I know, when I stepped into my hobby, I realized my loves, something was created from it, and then I had a career was born. Okay, so anything there we need to look at?
No, we can go on. So, happy birthday, Learning
Yes,
4.
happy
Have a great
birthday.
holiday tomorrow, and you are
Definitely.
being guided and protected in this shift that's happening in your life.
Yep.
Okay, so
gratitude, attitude.
okay,
Next,
so
next one.
was Heavenly Heathen, and they gave me, even though the hand isn't raised, this is the area code of the person.
Oh, well then
who
we'll
wanted
take
to
them
read
on
it.
air then.
Okay, so you are on the air with Brenda and Jen.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi there.
How can we help you, dear?
I was going to ask for a general reading if I could, please.
Oh,
Okay.
certainly, no problem. We will do that. Okay. Well, the gratitude and attitude is usually in the air, and there is also the attitude of the group consciousness that you have to come to family gatherings as a bickering person. You're not supposed to get along. You're not supposed to do this and that. And some people don't look forward to Thanksgiving. That's why a lot of people don't want to take that thanks. Whereas Christmas, it's a little different for some reason, and I don't know why. But that fits into how, like, it's going back to the word distrust, and I have to figure out what this is really about. It's the awkwardness. Who are you supposed to trust? How are you supposed to trust? Well, all I can say is that you need to trust in the 11th hour, even when it's the worst. During those times, there's several events. We just heard bad news. Shook us to the core. We started to use infinite love and gratitude because that energy is going to change the space. And it can change the hearts and minds of people. There is a story of the infinite love and gratitude that these house was being broken into, and the banging on the door and trying so hard to get in. And so all this couple did was get down on their knees and goes infinite love and gratitude to the door, to the person behind the door. What was on the other side they didn't know. And all of a sudden they heard nothing. They thought, okay, good. So they go outside and they found the guy that was trying to break in. He said, he told them that his heart had changed. He wasn't going to break into it. But when he was walking away, he stepped on something. I can't remember if it was a rake or hoe or what it was. But it had dug into him, and so he had knocked him to his knees. And he said, oh, that was my punishment for trying to do something bad. And so literally you don't know, except for the infinite love and gratitude energy will change it. And Jen, I have to figure out why they're telling me to hear the story, but go ahead and...
Okay, so either you need to ignite passion or you're awakening passion. Your guides want to know that this passion is awakening this innocent state. So maybe you need to use this passion to awaken the innocence that's within you to claim your power. That's just simply what the reading is. It's about passion, innocence, and power.
Well, when you're going after your dreams, the one thing they want you to make sure you understand is that the self-talk that we go into when there's pain and fear or uncertainty is that we go into false self-assuredness. And that is so that we can make ourselves feel better because we don't know whether it's certain. And sometimes we won't take that leap because, hey, it's not certain, so I'm not going to do it. But at the same time, there is that certainty within yourself that you need to move forward in. And Scott had drawn a card.
Okay. Excuse me. It's the home card reversed. If you don't feel at home, it's time to do a thorough and fearless inventory. What are you hiding from? Are you afraid of being yourself? Do you feel you don't belong where you are? What if you choose another path? Does your understanding of home perhaps dictate that such a place might be unsafe, unstable, or unfulfilling? It's time to love yourself and create a new sense of safety and security within. You might have chosen a situation that is familiar and led you back to the original source of your pain. No matter, because this is an important and powerful invitation to a new you. Say no to the pain of the past. Say no to the voice of your inner critic. No to those who want to dim your light to make themselves brighter. Excuse me. Choose a new home. Take refuge in knowing that beauty and a true sense of belonging lie ahead.
Okay, so now when he had brought this to the light, the next thing that comes up is our voices seem to be cracking.
Yeah.
And that fifth chakra is the ability to stop thinking or speaking negativity. It's its ability to speak positive and in balance. It's the ability to have your voice. It's also the destination of your will, your free will, the volition to move forward. It's also about that choice. And they're saying that once he just read, it was that the reason why that was there was because you've hit to the point where you just can't tolerate other people's opinion. It's not that you are judgmental and say, oh, I don't like your opinion, I'm going to tell you off. This type is that you feel it coming at you, and you're like, I'm so tired. So how it's going to show up is that you feel like you get hurt more often. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And so they're saying that you're done tolerating. You have no more tolerance. It's like all of a sudden you clean your house and then somebody comes with muddy feet and then they don't think twice. You know, and you're like, I can't tolerate this anymore. I've told you over and over, you know, but it's like you speak but nobody listens. But you no longer can tolerate it. They're saying there's a part of you that's similar to me, and that is you can feel the vibrations of people around you, and whatever mood they're in, sometimes you can't tolerate it. Your body can't tolerate it. You can't tolerate that type of person. It doesn't mean that you're trying to be mean. It's just your body can't take that energy in anymore because they don't know what the hell to do with it. It doesn't know how to process it out, and you're full. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And they said that the biggest thing that will help you in your career, in your life, in any part, relationships as well, is that you have to understand that when you start to heal out how the familiarity of how you know the intolerance, what's going to happen to you was that you will start to tap into that true identity, not the false identity of the intolerance, but your true identity, and it'll be more effortless and it'll keep you safe. Right now your subconscious mind is saying, but they got a feeling that if they remove how they don't like it, then they're going to be attacked more. That's not true. Because the attraction factor is how you know it. I'm familiar with this, I can't tolerate it. But what that's doing is it's telling you that your attraction factors, you're supposed to pull it in so that you can be annoyed to say, I told you so, this is it, ha-ha. Well, you're done collecting proof. So, we're going to preserve all the positive learnings, and we're going to have you, if you'd like, to heal out this intolerance. And you list down what things that you know that you can't tolerate anymore, and you're not going to put up with anymore. And then you're going to heal that out. You're going to focus on it, give it a color and number. And if you choose to do any healing of this, then go to mwreveal.com. On the left is Healing Tools. You're going to look for Hope Therapy. Then you're going to watch the videos and read the instructions. Your code is going to be L2S. And you're going to hold it and do the position that I have instructed you to do is L2S. And what this is that's part of the gallbladder meridian. And maybe you feel people's resentment. Or maybe you feel people won't forgive. Or maybe but however it is that you've had enough of it and it's built up inside of you. So gallbladder meridian and healing the intolerance. Intolerance is that you no longer can tolerate. You first had, what do we say? It was more resentment, then it went to bitterness. You can't tolerate it anymore. Especially people's comments about you. Well, that's just stupid of you to do that. Those type of simple things. You understand?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have to hide yourself most of the time because those comments are going to come out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Okay. This is what they want you to heal because you have attracted it so much that it just takes a second for you to think of it. And the next thing you know, you're speaking and then boom, somebody's got to say stuff to smack you. Well, you can stop that. Okay, so you understand what you need to do?
Yes, I do.
All right, well, I'm going to send a lot of prayers and love to you. And just remember to go to mwreveal.com. When you're ready, go heal it. And when you've brought all the colors and numbers down to 0 and you're feeling good, and all of a sudden it happens again, go back to L2S, because you need to retrain yourself and create a new pathway, but you got to take care of the other one and get those ruts out of your road. You don't need them in your path anymore. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and happy healing and happy Thanksgiving, and keep in contact.
You too.
Thank you.
Very much.
Take care.
Okay, so now we're going to take just a quick break, and then when we come back, who's next?
We've got 2 callers, and we've got area code 928 is next, and then 248 after that. So we know that you're there. Please be patient, and we're going to take a quick break.
All right, thank you. And now we're back, and hopefully our mic's on. So, I like to help people understand that, you know, what we're reading the energy. So the last caller, I talked about the gallbladder meridian and things like this, and it was said that what?
I had 20 pounds of stones in my gallbladder when it ruptured. When you were saying it, it was in 91 when all that happened. Totally felt hopeless. Never connected till now, just how all that related. She's going to go to the website and look for the healing tools.
See, no, that's good. And the reason we tell you this is because we want you to understand.
So there's a conscious contact. There's a aha to say, oh my gosh, okay, so you're talking about this gallbladder meridian? What the heck is that thing? And then all of a sudden, these memories start flooding in. That's the contact you need, because then all of a sudden your body starts vibrating. You've got this visceral connection to what we're talking about. Then go use the healing tool, so then you create that closure.
Yeah, because most of the time we are so living in our conscious space, we forget that the past existed at all. People are always telling you to let it go. But in this case, we're not telling you to let it go. We're telling you to resolve it, because without that past, you couldn't create a foundation. Just like you can't be 45 years old without first being a baby. You can't be just that. In some dimensions, in some realities, maybe you came in as a 45-year-old. Fine. And I'm talking about my age, by the way. But the point is that usually it comes from somewhere. You have to come from somewhere to transform someplace. So let's take that next one.
Okie dokie. We have area code 928. You are on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fabulous, especially coming across this whole little council of wonderful masters in their own right.
Good. How can we help you, dear?
I would love for, what does Spirit want me to know?
All right. I like those kind of questions. They've been filling you up with hopefulness and joy, because that's your rightful heritage. And they want you to learn a little bit more about bringing that energy, you know, from the heart out. And that's where you're a little hesitant, they said. But, of course I can't remember the name of the book. But if you look under Heart Math, and I think you can look that up online, Spirit Science talks about it. That's online. And Drumroll Melchizedek, I probably said that completely wrong, but he's got a book about heart. I can't remember the rest of it. But it's all about learning to tap into that energy of the heart, because they said that you're ready. Now, are you doing meditation yet?
Yeah.
And they're saying you're ready to really go into that heart space a lot more. They said you're pretty good at letting those thoughts go, but now they want to divinely direct you into the heart a lot more. And they said, please call upon, I think you have a lot of people that you call upon before you go into meditation. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. Talk to them about the intention. Say, if this is in my highest good, then thank you for guiding me and showing me, and then learning to fine-tune with all that, and you should be able to open up that next level of your awareness, because that's what they said that you're doing, is you're just like really close to having that door open. So they're very impressed by that, so keep going.
Yeah, I definitely see this grid like, okay, so Star Trek Next Generation had the holodeck.
Yes.
And so they had this grid, and so that's actually what I see around you, that when you're going to go into this deep meditation and you ask for your guides to help you, you've got this grid created, so you can create anything that you need to look at, work on, whatever. It will be created for you, and you'll just go into the meditation and it'll be prepared for you.
That's a good analogy, yes. All right. Go ahead.
Manifestation.
Yes. Well, I'm going to look at something. Do you work with pyramids?
No, I observe them.
Okay. The pyramids, I think they're going back to the flower of life. I think that's what they were trying to put me to go back to. You can even learn about the flower of life. Drumbo Melchizedek again, or Melchizedek, or how they pronounce it. Oh, look, they typed it in there. Has talked about the flowers of life, but the flowers of life, because I feel like you're supposed to be on the next journey of learning a little bit deeper. So they're really into all that learning state. So now they said, notice how people are awkward when you're about to enter in something new. So are there people around you that don't want you to change?
My parents, I have a wonderful support group and mentors and spiritual gurus and guruas and healers and shamans and all kinds of various beings that I have in my circle. My parents, I'm different from my family. That's just because I've just been independent and free spirit all my life, and that's why, I can understand. I'm about to turn 27 with my Saturn return.
Okay, so I draw 2 cards with this. We'll find out more what they are, or you can tell us what you think they are. And it was number 3, Wizard of Awareness. My husband's going to read.
Okay, Wizard of Awareness. Your soul knows best. Be still and observe. Mindfulness is about being observant and remaining neutral about what goes on in the world around you. This applies to the environment within you, too. If you struggle inside yourself, stepping into an observer position gives you a new, powerful perspective that neutralizes any discomfort or overexcitement. You have the capacity to see things clearly now, unencumbered by opinion or desire. Wearing the world as a loose garment requires you to adopt a sense that nothing that happens to you is personal. People come and go. Experiences evolve from one state to another in a continuous shifting and change no matter how much you want things to stay the same. The Wizard of Awareness asks you to give up your need to define or limit what you're experiencing now. It's all good, let it be, and watch the miracle unfold without any direct influence from you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the next card.
Let's see, 17 reversed is the Ghostlands reversed. When the Ghostlands card appears reversed, it is a sign that you're wandering in an emotional or intellectual place with no real substance.
Okay, stop right there.
Okay.
When you go and enter their level, now nobody's any better than anybody. It's just that there's different stages of where your soul's at. When you go to be where your parents' level is, you can actually see where they're coming from and respect where you are and where they are, but they may not be able to look at it from that perception. So when you don't need to get approval and you don't need to explain, you just continue to walk your talk. That is what I keep hearing, is that if you try to force it to get them to understand, it's only going to stop you from going on your path. It's like it was created an obstacle so you couldn't move forward quicker. Just say thank you lovingly and let the universe help open their heart up to when they're supposed to, could not on your timing or other people's timing, but when their heart says it's time. But just keep walking your talk. So continue, Scott.
There's no point longing for that which has already gone or hasn't happened yet. Perhaps you've created a fantasy of the good old days or some elusive utopian destination that lies somewhere in the future when this or that happens to make things better. Live one day at a time. Each day is a new beginning filled with truth and beauty. Stay away from the ghostlands of the past and future. Avoid nostalgia and longing for something better. Find joy in what is present in your life today.
Okay, does that all make sense to you?
It does. I just came over a really deep period of forgiveness within my soul.
Good.
And all this is just like giving me excitement again, because going through a lot of your soul trench work. Whew.
Yes. Okay.
You bring your spirit down, so this is really definitely feeding my spirit, so I appreciate it.
Okay, yes, and Jen has drew 3 cards real quick, and...
Okay, so when I was drawing these cards, I was shuffling, and the card, they did literally pop out of the deck, but they kept falling, and it wasn't just one time, it was just a couple minutes later, then I pulled another card, and then that fell, and so, so the message that I was given about that is, so you're in, it's like fitting in, and I don't know how to describe it, it's like, you're attempting to go through your reality, and then when you try to fit in with other people's reality, like things slip or they fall or they collapse.
It's just like what I said with the father and the mother. She wants to be in
Yeah.
synergy, but she's going to keep that promise to her heart,
because
and
that,
she'll stay in
was
synergy with that frequency. And sometimes she has to go into solitude where they don't understand. That's okay because their soul's not there. But if she tries to force the situation,
that's when things get clumsy. If you're trying to make somebody understand where you are or something like that, or hey, whatever it is, I'm not saying that you do this, but that's when things can get a little clumsy. They get out of alignment. They get.
So are they expecting you to explain it?
Justifying myself. Yeah, I try to justify myself.
Okay, that habit needs to stop. So you can even go into Meridian Tools, Meridian Tapping, and say, even though I feel like I have to justify myself, I deeply, completely love and accept myself. And get that down, get the color and the number down. Because this rule doesn't even have to be in play. It's an attractive factor to bring in hell. Heal it out so that you can become more in alignment with everybody.
When I was not in alignment with pursuing a spiritual vocation, when I was in other chapters of my life, I was a complete klutz. And I would like walk into a door and like inevitably smack my head on the door jamb. I was that person, right? So then, and my ex-husband would say, "Oh God, you're such a klutz. You're such a you know." And would Brenda, you guys have never seen that quality about me because I'm in alignment with this.
Yeah.
Because when I wasn't in alignment with it, I was that I would trip going upstairs. Oh my gosh! In college, the coffee shop where I worked, I'd be going downstairs to get vegetables or bagels or whatever, and I would trip going up the stairs. They're like, "You're the only person that we know that trips going upstairs," and so.
But you're trying to be in somewhere you're not supposed to be.
Exactly, and that's.
I like out of your story the words spiritual vocation, because I've been battling, continuing on with deeper studies in my spirituality as much as reality in a physical way. But the spiritual vocation, I can understand when you're not doing your practice.
Yeah.
How you get off.
Well, well, we're proud of you. Keep staying in this path. Heal that one phrase out that you have to justify, and allow yourself. Check out the other healing tools like the Golden Lasso to help you bring to you what is the next one or two things that you're supposed to do on this journey that you are. Because I feel like you're supposed to be opening up to something, learning a new education, a new spiritual thing that you're supposed to do. So just the Golden Lasso will help rein in what it is that's in the next alignment.
How can I continue being in touch with you guys?
Several different ways. One, you can always check out, we got 4 shows a week, 2 in Blog Talk, 2 in Sepia, call in anytime. You can go to our website at mwrevealed.com.
Contact us.
Friend
us on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. We haven't done it yet for Medicine Women Revealed, but I have my one that's about Medicine Woman. That's with an A, Medicine Woman for You, the number 4, the letter U.com. And there's a newsletter that you can sign up for, get a free meditation. And then we do blogs and other things. And I'm going to be teaching classes soon online, which helps people to get pulled out of the matrix. You don't need to be in that everyday matrix to live in the hell. You actually get to live who you are in a safe environment. So there's 2 different types of things that are classes I'm deliberately coming up. So stay in contact with us.
I will.
We have a lot.
I understand about living outside the matrix, because I live out here by Sedona, Arizona.
Ooh. So yeah, you already know about that energy. That's good. Well, good. And I'm proud of you. Keep going, okay?
Thank you. I'll be in contact.
Right, and you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/MWReveal, and you can friend request us.
Yeah, and even on our personal ones, in our fan page, because we're always contacting, communicating one way or the other. Okay?
Got you. Be in touch. Later, sisters.
Thank you.
Okay.
Namaste, dear.
Namaste.
Right.
Okay, so who we got?
All of a sudden, we've got a lit switchboard, so we've got.
Excellent.
Yay, we like that. Area code
for helping us communicate
248. You are on the air. Thanks for being patient. I know you called back in. Hopefully that was you, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, you're here.
That was me.
Okay, we weren't sure.
Welcome.
How can we help you?
daughter told me that my grandchild had this dream of and basically it all came from a picture that she drew at school.
Uh-huh.
And my daughter's asking me, is the kid intuitive or is this just, out of her imagination? It was a very strange dream, and it was basically a picture of her house and herself, and the place was on fire, and she said the person that lit the fire was standing outside the house watching the house burn, and the fire department was there, and there was a face above all the smoke.
Wow.
This is a 5-year-old.
Okay, so that we have to, and that's great that we understand it's a 5-year-old, because we have to get into the 5-year-old type of way of thinking. When she woke up, or when the child woke up, was it fearful or understanding?
We don't know. The only reason we know about the picture is because this was her kindergarten teacher that showed Mom the picture.
All right.
But
Well,
I want to talk to her about this picture.
Fire. Okay, so the house will represent your soul. So there's stuff about her soul. Okay, so she's being taught. Now, when spirit guides communicate with us, sometimes they have to use fear to make us remember the dream. Okay, and it doesn't always have to be like those scary movies where that it's all going to be scary. It's, and that in most of the cases it's not. When you start to really open it up, she's doing something with her house, with her soul. So maybe she needs her to get her soul on fire, to find that passion, to get that spark. Fire also can represent great abundance of money and things that can come into space. The person standing outside of her, a person is that everybody in a dream represents her, okay? So this is an aspect of her that's watching outside as her soul is transforming, because fire can represent transformation. So she's transforming and not understanding maybe why it's happening, because she saw a face in the smoke, meaning something is that's hidden, it's going to come to the surface. But she may be translating it as that means something scary is going to happen. I used to have a scary dream about being chased, and when I realized that this was an aspect of me that wanted to catch up, I misunderstood what it meant. So that really created a lot of havoc in my daily life. But once I understood it, then the chasing dream stopped, and I was able to step into more of who I'm supposed to be. So Jen happened to go onto dreammoods.com. Y'all can do that. And fire represents what?
Depending on the context of your dream, to see fire in your dream can symbolize destruction, passion, desire, illumination, purification, transformation, enlightenment, or anger. It may suggest that something old is passing and something new is entering into your life. Your thoughts and views are changing. In particular, if the fire is under control or contained in one area, then it is a metaphor of your own internal fire and inner transformation. If the fire is encircling you and someone else, then it signifies your bond to that person. You two share something significant in common. Furthermore, the dream may be a metaphor for someone who is fiery. It represents your drive, motivation, and creative energy. Alternatively, the dream may be warning you of your dangerous or risky activities. You're literally playing with fire. To dream that you're being burned by fire indicates your temper is getting out of control. Some
Okay.
situation.
But we know that she didn't get burned. What are the things?
So to dream a house is on fire,
There you go.
indicates that you need to undergo some transformation. If you have recurring dreams of your family house on fire, then it suggests you are still not ready for the change that you are fighting against the change. Alternatively, it highlights passion and the love of those around you.
Was she embarrassed just recently at school?
I'm not really sure. I was like an hour and a half away from them.
Okay.
She was just, I know that she is doing real good in school.
Okay, because sometimes when you have to remember at 5 years old, that